Our story today begins in a quiet medieval clearing where the trees stand like tall, patient guardians. Their branches lean inward, forming a kind of natural shelter, their leaves whispering in a hush that feels almost intentional, as though the whole forest has agreed to keep its voice low for your sake tonight. You walk along a gentle mossy path, the ground soft under your steps. Each footfall makes only the faintest sound, just a tiny sigh of earth welcoming you closer. A cool night breeze brushes by, but it isn't cold. It feels like the first breath you take after waking from a nap, a little crisp, a little bright, but entirely pleasant. Ahead, through the trees, you notice a small warm glow. A tiny cottage, lantern-lit, resting at the forest's edge. A ribbon of smoke curls upward from the chimney, drifting slowly, lazily, as if even the smoke is too relaxed to hurry. As you come closer, the door is slightly open, just enough for a soft golden light to spill across the ground. You hear a gentle rhythm inside. Tap, whir, tap, whir. Steady, soothing, patient. It's the unmistakable sound of a loom. Not the clattering machines of later centuries, but the simple wooden 12th century foot treadle loom. A tool powered entirely by one person's movement. No gears, no metal, just wood, wool, and intention. You step inside quietly. The cottage smells faintly of lavender bundles drying near the rafters, and warm hearth embers glowing in the corner. The air is soft, almost velvety. And there she is. The weaver sits with her back to you, her posture relaxed, her head slightly tilted as if listening to the cloth itself. Her shuttle glides through the threads with effortless grace. A gentle slide, a pause, a soft tap as she pulls it through. The loom responds with its wooden sigh, a familiar companion in her late-night work. She doesn't turn around, but she doesn't need to. She speaks in a voice that sounds like warm tea being poured. Welcome. You can sit wherever the quiet feels right to you. And somehow, you know she already sensed you before your footsteps reached her door. You take a seat on a cushioned stool near the hearth. The fire crackles softly, tiny sparks dancing upward before disappearing. The warmth draws you inward, deeper into stillness. The weaver lifts one foot onto the treadle, pressing with slow, steady pressure. The loom responds with that hypnotic cadence again. Tap, whir, tap, whir. The woven cloth ahead of you moves ever so slightly, each new line of thread settling into place, like a calm breath falling into rhythm with another. But what captures your attention most isn't the rhythm. It's the shimmering. At first, you think it's just the lantern light reflecting, but then you notice something unusual. The cloth truly glows. Not brightly, just faintly, like a piece of night sky captured and tamed. Tiny ripples shimmer across the surface, like moonlight glinting across gentle water. You blink, thinking your eyes might be playing tricks on you, but the glow remains. Steady, quiet, real. The weaver smiles softly without turning. Most people think weaving is only thread and patience, she murmurs. But the night has its own threads, too. You just have to know how to listen for them. She continues her work, foot pressing, shuttle gliding, cloth growing. You watch her hands, slow and sure, moving as though the threads are guiding her rather than the other way around. There's something ancient in the motion, older than kingdoms, older than the stories carved into stone. Scholars still argue, she says with a tiny laugh, whether early weavers believed the night sky could be woven into cloth, or whether it was simply a very poetic metaphor. She leans a little closer to the fabric, examining a new row of shimmering thread. Personally, she adds, I think poetry usually hides a bit of truth. A warm breeze slips in through the open window, stirring the hanging herbs and brushing against your cheek. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the combination of fire crackle, night breeze, and loom rhythm settle over you. The sounds almost stack on top of one another, like layers of calmness. The soft pedal of the loom, the delicate shuttle tap, the whisper of leaves outside, the hum of distant night insects, the gentle warmth of the fire, all of it forming a natural lullaby. When you open your eyes, the weaver is still at work, but now the cloth glows a little brighter. Not dazzling, just enough to bathe the cottage in a soft blue tint, like reflected moonlight. She gestures for you to come closer, and you do. Up close, the threads look almost alive, tiny twinkles shifting, like stars drifting behind thin clouds. It feels peaceful, grounding, like watching the tide come in and out from a safe distance. You're tired, she says, not as a question. Your thoughts have been pulling at you too much lately. Threads stretched too tight. She brushes her fingers across the glowing cloth. This helps. She guides your hand toward the finished portion. You touch it lightly, and warmth spreads from your fingertips up your arm. Slow and soothing, like a warm drink moving through your chest. It's just wool, she whispers. But wool remembers calm hands, patient work, gentle hours. You realize you're breathing even slower now. Your shoulders have dropped. Your whole body feels heavy but comfortable, grounded in the moment. The weaver continues speaking softly. When I was young, an elder told me that every person carries loose threads, unsettled moments, tangled worries, things they wish they had done or said differently. But weaving, she says, helps remind us that even tangled threads can become something beautiful when given time. She presses the treadle again. Tap, whir. Tap, whir. The rhythm fills the cottage, echoing gently in your chest like a second heartbeat. The shimmering cloth grows, inch by inch, until it reaches her hands. She lifts it carefully, as though lifting a newborn constellation. Would you like to rest? She asks. You nod. She drapes the warm, moonlit fabric across your shoulders. It settles around you like a soft sigh, weightless. Cool at first, then gradually warming. The threads shimmer once more, then slowly dim to a quiet glow. The weaver smiles. Good. Let the night wrap you, and let the threads carry what you don't need anymore. You close your eyes. The loom hums. The fire crackles. The night is calm. And everything, every sound, every movement, rocks you deeper into peaceful stillness. You're safe. You're warm. You're home in this moment. The glow fades to darkness, but the warmth remains.